Welcome back to Vagabond, Gypsy, Tarot, and Oracle readings. Today we are going to do just a little delve into the Chariot card since we are in a Chariot year 2023. So if you add the numbers together, 2, 2, and 3, that adds up to 7, which is the number of the Chariot. So the number of the Chariot, so I thought I'd just pull 3 different decks. This is the Starman Tarot, and then this is the Star Tarot, and this is the Universal Weight deck that I have here. So no formal, this is not a formal class or anything. This is just a discussion on some things that I've been thinking about with the Chariot card. So the Chariot card is a card of action, change, journey, and we are the Chariot driver, is the way that I see this in the year 2023. I don't know, this is an informal, like I said, take what you will out of it. But I just thought I would read each card's meaning from each deck, from the book from each deck, and see what they perceive the Chariot to be. And then we talk a little bit about the cards and what we perceive them to be and what we can think of them as being. So let's start with the Starman Tarot. So in the Starman Tarot, I'm going to read right out of the book, like I said, what this author's perception of this particular chariot means. So it is, here's the book that comes with the deck, and then there's the authors, so you know, full disclosure here. So we have the Chariot. The Chariot is the war vehicle that carries this dreadlocked Bowie-esque king forward to victory against his enemies. His battle dress, demeanor, and maturity suggest he has been navigating the battlefield for many years. And as you can see, this is an older depiction of a chariot driver than a lot of the other versions of the Chariot card are, which is nice. In life, like Homer's great champion and Trojan war hero Odysseus, who in the Odyssey faces tremendous travails on his long return home after the war. The ingenious early war victories turned to absurdity, challenging battles requiring enormous tenacity. Weathered by time, experience, and adversity, he knows that he will not be successful without rigorous preparation, planning, creativity, and above all, self-control. He understands he must rein in his emotions and control his natural aggression and ferocity while focusing his mind on what he wants to achieve. He must not get carried away by his ambitions and imagination. I like that. I'm actually going to move this card so that you can only see this card while we're doing this, because I want you to focus on this card. Let's get that light out of there. Okay, so balancing head and heart, masculine with feminine, he knows he must travel with complete concentration and awareness on the difficult path, all the while keeping his wheels in motion. Without control, the Komodo dragons pulling his great chariot will run wild and make a bid for freedom. So that right there is is like the other, like A.E. Waite's version and the Star Tarot that I'm going to show you. So without controlling the chariot, the animals, the horses and the sphinxes in the other versions will go their own way. So the chariot driver is the driver in control, but I do like this version depicting an elderly chariot driver over some of the younger ones as well, knowing that there has been a lifetime of lessons behind this chariot driver. So let's move on. The chariot itself is part organic tree and part mechanism, expressing the means of which humanity has sought to engineer and collaborate with nature. The venomous Komodo dragon, which he had the privilege of seeing firsthand on the island of Gili Meno in Indonesia, are powerful predators capable of taking down large prey with their large serrated teeth. So that right there is telling you that this particular chariot driver has to have control, because if he doesn't, this chariot will fall apart and he will not get to where he needs to be because of these Komodo dragons that he is in charge of moving forward. It says, they appear slow and cumbersome, but these lizards are all muscle and can move at explosive speed, a powerful reminder to trust our own survival instincts. This card therefore implies the game of life can only be won if we can master our emotions, control our worries and fears, regrets, resignation, and hopelessness. The king driving his chariot symbolizes that self-belief and confidence comes from consistently refocusing one's thoughts and ideas to the objective and goal at hand. We must move past the limbic system, the stress response of fight or flight, to engage with greater emotional intelligence. When we know ourselves, our motivations and needs, the why we do things, we can become more aware of when we are off track. So the chariot ultimately signifies hard-won success, and whatever this card is connected to demands completion. Finish what you start, and if you are working with people, maintain balance and harmony by acknowledging people's needs and feelings, while maintaining control. We can consciously and creatively release frustrations and engage in the power of positive self-talk, the mantra that will keep our wheels turning in the right direction. Although you must take people's needs and feelings into consideration, ultimately you must take full responsibility for your words and deeds. So that is a great depiction of the chariot driver. And if you're looking at the year 2023 in retrospect from what we came from, which was 2022, which was the Lovers card, that could be moving us forward from the Lovers energy into the chariot year, which the acknowledging of moving forward, but also remembering to take people's needs and feelings into consideration. I like that comment because it was also acknowledging, kind of in my mind, that we're coming from the year of the Lovers energy. So don't just forget that. Bring that with you on this journey through to the chariot year. So the Lovers year to the chariot year. It's, this is also telling you to seize the moment and, take advantage of the momentum that you have built up to this point and move forward with that knowledge that you have built up through your past I don't want to say defeats, but lessons that you have learned from the past. Failures, I guess, yeah, I mean, there could be failures that this chariot has been through because he has used his past failures and successes to drive him forward into this chariot year. So coming up into this year, it's definitely giving you the opportunity to say, well, don't hesitate, focus your energies, move forward, find balance, and move forward, basically. I'm going to move this, see if I can get it. Yeah, there we go. I wanted it more centered, if we could. There we go. It's still going to get a little bit of a... I think we're good there. Okay, so I like that version. Let me hold it up so you can maybe see it a little bit better if you can. You can see this chariot completely is Bowie-esque, and look at his outfit, and then look at these Komodo dragons. This chariot is out of this world space looking, and that's what the Starman depiction. Oh, what did we lose a little focus here? What's with that? There we go. Okay, that was funny. Okay, something new here. So now let's move on, and then I'll bring these back and we can kind of go through them together. So now this is the Star Tarot, this book, this author, and we will read the Chariot out of this one. I didn't read the whole thing. I read a lot of it out of the Starman, but I'm going to read you a portion of this one as well. So in this author's deck of the Chariot, it says the Chariot represents victory through willpower and self-mastery. Very similar to what the meaning of the card. I mean, they are all kind of AE weightish if you think about it. This celestial chariot moves into your life fast and then rests to help you assimilate all that has taken place. So again, this has a ethereal, starlight quality. I guess I picked two decks that kind of symbolize that as well. So it says the Chariot symbolizes action, change, victory, success, moving in or out of a situation, traveling, refocusing, new perspectives and thoughts. And while this transformation is happening, the future ahead is unknown and familiar. Skills you once relied on are now outgrown and not useful on your new course. So this card is, first of all, depicting a younger chariot driver. I'll have to look a little more carefully into it after here, but it's not a super young, although looks pretty young. It says, let me go on here. Change can make you feel restless, uncertain, or fearful, pushing you off center and struggling with the courage to go forward. The Chariot symbolizes the cosmic warrior who has traveled through many experiences and learned if you have the will and determination to dig deep within, you will find the well of inner strength to overcome any blocks that hold you back. As the charioteer rides the heavens, he masters the ever-changing inner and outer realms of life. He holds a magical wand, this power, personal power and spiritual maturity, to control and direct how the alchemy he creates unfolds in his life. The chariot symbolizes the self and the direction or path that you are taking. It represents your physical expression as well as your spiritual expression. The chariot's number is 7. 7 is the number of mastery, victory, and initiation. 7 is the number of the seeker and transformation. Very interesting. So the chariot brings change. Change helps us grow, evolve, and transform on many levels. Change brings opportunity, new life, new reality, new views and perspectives that stretch and deepen your human nature. Change is magical. It opens doors and creates opportunity. How you drive your chariot is a reflection of how you handle your life and its oppositions. So how you control your energy and drive your energy through 2023 is how your 2023 will end up manifesting. How you drive through this this year will reflect the outcome of what happens, and how you look at things, how you go through life. So the chariot brings change. Change helps us grow. Let's see here. The chariot is full of movement and opportunities for success. So again, the success will be reached if you choose to have it be reached. It also gives you quietude and rest so that you are able to listen to your intuition, your inner voice. He brings you the willpower and the intuition to ride the rocky course of life into victory. So this path that this chariot and all chariots take is not easy, but there's a point when you have to grab the reins and move forward. And that's what I think this year also gives us the opportunity to do. Okay, so it says here, when the charioteer enters, he brings you confidence, energy, strength, focus, maturity to follow through with your endeavor, the endeavor you are pursuing. If you are experiencing conflict, he brings you the fortitude, courage, and the drive to surpass your challenges. So use his energy if you are feeling defeated or questioning things. See your life through the soul of the charioteer, it says. You will discover how to control and use your intuition and personal power, directing its creative force into success and victory. You are the driver of your destiny, which I feel, again, all the chariot cards represent. That's what it means, is you are the driver of your destiny. So however you choose to drive through 2023 is how it will end for you. So here, the 4 poles of the chariot represents the 4 earthly realms of balance. So here are the 4 poles of the chariot. And it says, at the top of each pole is an 8-pointed star. It's kind of hard to see it looks like 7, but there's a point going down. Representing as above, so below. So this is a very earthly card. Although I have to say the chariot card is ruled by Cancer in the zodiac, which is kind of funny too, because that is a emotional, watery sign. So, but I suppose, I mean, if you look at it, the Chariot has been driven by emotions as well. If you don't see it, usually the Chariot's face is quite stern, but there's been a lot of emotion behind that on the path of the Fool to this point. So the charioteer wears a crown of divine guidance with the 8-pointed star in the center. The 5-pointed stars represent the pentagram, the evolving human intelligence. The charioteer is your spirit descending. His chariot represents your physical vehicle. The laurel wreath he wears represents victory. So he is not going on this journey without expecting victory, and probably has had previous victories to wear that crown and shine that and let everybody see that as well. His chariot represents, I read that. Okay, the feathers are a combination of eagle spirit, right here, hawk, messenger, and raven magic. So the crescent moons on his shoulders symbolize the cycles of life's ups and downs. Right there. The square shape of his chest represents the T-cross of Saturn. Cool. And which is connected to the sun's circle above, exemplifies his commitment to work through limitations and achieve victory. So we have to be strong and remember that as well through this year of 2023. The Chariot's belt has 2 triangles right there. One pointing up for fire and one pointing down for water. So there's your connection to the water with the 8-pointed star in the middle. On his face, the Chariot is the starburst with the yin-yang symbols. Signifying the union of heaven and earth and masculine and feminine forces. So he is a combination. The Chariot is a combination of all feminine and masculine energy. Okay, there, as I said before, the astrological symbol is Cancer, home, maternal, intuitive. So that's also, as I said, key here. And the planet Mars, action, masculine drive, is associated with the card. So there's your feminine and masculine energies. Cancer being feminine, Mars being masculine. It is the Magician's wand. Let's see here. At the top of the wand is a lunar crescent and figure 8 representing the subconscious working with the conscious personality. It is the Magician's wand. The horses are moving in different directions, representing the forces of your instincts, dualities, and contradictions. Again, not much different. I haven't seen any difference in the animals. They're both pointing out different ways, both with the Komodo dragon and these Pegasus horses. And the charioteer is constantly balancing them, keeping them in control. So he is controlling this chariot as well as the Starman Tarot. But I'm going to bring it up here a little bit more and see if I can focus on. So he's a youthful, but not as young as some of them that I've seen. So he has a little bit of maturity. I'm getting that he's been through a little bit and understands his role of moving forward with this chariot. And yeah, so there we go. There's that version. So now let's bring in the chariot from my Universal Tarot deck here. So I'm leaning over to grab the book on this one. I should have had that out. Okay, so there we go. So we have this one here. 8 you wait. So let's read this one here. So it's probably a little bit, oh, you know what? I'm going to actually go to the, okay, here it is. So this version, which we have all seen, this one is, it says, the chariot, an erect and princely figure carrying a drawn sword and corresponding, broadly speaking, to the traditional description which I have given in the first part. Oh, I didn't read that. On the shoulders of the victorious hero are supposed to be the Urim and the Thummim. Sorry. He is led captive. He is conquest on all planes, in the mind, in science, in progress, in certain trials of initiation. He has thus replied to the Sphinx, and it is on this account that I have accepted the variation of Eliphas Levi. Sorry. 2 sphinxes thus draw this chariot. He is above all things triumphant in mind. It is to be understood for this reason that the question of the Sphinx is concerned with a mystery of nature and not the world of grace, to which the charioteer could offer no answer. Let me go back. Now I'm just doing this without obviously paying a whole lot of attention, so that this book is a little bit harder. It says, here we go. So the chariot, this is represented in some extant codices, are being drawn by 2 sphinxes, and the device is in consonance with the symbolism. But it must not be supposed that such was its original form. The variation was invented to support a particular historical hypothesis. In the 18th century, white horses were yoked to the car. As regards to its usual name, the lesser stands for the greater. It is really the king in his triumph, typifying, however, the victory which creates kingship as its natural consequence, and not the vested royalty of the card. So yeah, this one's a little bit hard to read. I should have thought of that before, but A.E. Waite's version of the chariot basically symbolizes, as we have represented here, action, change, and a journey moving forward. I'm actually going to pause this for a second and grab something that I have that I want to read to you. Okay, sorry. I had to climb underneath my desk here to get everything that I wanted to share with you. So I have notes that I have taken through the years of the chariot. So I am going to, it's from the A.E. Waite version that I have taken notes on. So the chariot in the Fool's Journey is the end of the first chapter. The first chapter of the Fool's Journey. So as I said, his zodiac sign is Cancer, also affiliated with the moon, the chariot card, and it is one of my actual personal tarot cards through my birth date and stuff. The Chariot is one of my cards. General meanings is control, victory, action, and that is exactly what all three of these cards represent. So I'm actually going to move forward and kind of compare the three, but also give you a E-Waite's version. So the Chariot, the vehicle itself dates back to 4,000 years ago in ancient civilization as transport for royalty. So that, take that as you will. That is just one of the notes that I have taken that I found interesting, because it's like, it kind of seems like a royal vehicle to me with all three of these depictions and pretty much every other depiction that I've seen. The Chariot became the symbol of power. It's kind of like it eludes elite status, riches. Average people back in the day couldn't afford a chariot. So you kind of get that feeling from the card as well, if you take it that way. I mean, it can be, everybody has their own feeling toward the cards, but yeah, so I mean, that's just one of the notes that I had taken. Let's see here, get into flipping through my pages here. So the breastplates on the Chariot, which I had said the Urim and the Thummim, were worn by high priests or interpreters of the ancient world to divine information. That's kind of interesting as well. The moon, like I said, the moon rules Cancer, which is a affiliated with the Chariot card, and Cancer is a cardinal sign in nature, but rules, it's an initiator, a leader, and that's kind of what you get out of these this symbolism as well. So I'm just as I said, the kind of all over the place here. The number 7 numerologically is reflection, assessment, and control. So all of these chariots have had to do some assessing of their situation before moving forward. It's not like they're just moving forward. They have control of their situation, is what I notice here, and all three of them are controlling their chariot vehicles. And obviously, these chariot vehicles are not easy to control. So you have to have that power to control the vehicle and move yourself forward. You have to have that power and control to move forward into what you want to accomplish, to get done. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about the year 2023. We've had some rough years in the past few years, and we've walked like, in my opinion, we've walked several different card paths through several years. I mean, we've walked the Fool's Journey, could be over and over. I mean, I know that a lot of people consider that they've been in a hermit situation. Some people felt like it's been tower years. Whatever you feel, it's time to pick it up, take control, and move forward with intention, basically, is how I see it. So the life path 7 is learning through sacrifice, and I can tell you I feel like all 3 of these have had to sacrifice to get to where they're at, to gain something, to gain something in return. A lot of that is because we desire things in life, and you can't get them without making a plan and moving forward. I'm looking through my notes here, so bear with me. I'm not trying to silence you out here, but so if you look at the Chariot's face, he doesn't show fear at all, which I also find very interesting. It's as though fears are not necessary for this move, for him to move forward. He's not going to show fear because, well, first of all, he's dealing with animals. I mean, I would think that if the charioteer didn't have control and was very fearful, the animals would also recognize that and act up. But these animals, well, this particular one, A.E. Waits, yes, the sphinxes are looking both ways, but they seem very calm. Now, this version of the Chariot, the Starman, these 2 Komodo dragons look like they are on guard, kind of like the Starman Chariot actually looks on guard. And the Star Tarot Chariot with the Pegasuses, also 2 different colors, are showing 2 opposite sides, but also they don't seem fearful either, or necessarily on guard. This is the only one that might show a little bit of on guard, a guarded feeling, and that might be due to the, like I said, the age of the chariot driver on that one. That could have something to do with it as well. They have been through other rides before and maybe are on guard a little bit more. That's what I'm getting out of this one. But although the chariot driver does not indicate that at all, although I guess you could see it as the sword being held up in the way that it is. I guess you could look at that as being on guard a little bit more than, obviously, these 2 are just moving forward kind of more somber, looking straight forward as well, whereas this one's looks like he's looking in all directions. Maybe his age has taught him to do that. So that might be something else to think about. Let's see here. So I had wrote down that this card also, the Chariot card, also has an impact on how we are perceived, the influence that we leave in the world, the footprint that we leave behind us. I think that has to do with, or I feel it has to do with how you are seen and how you are perceived. Powerful, know what you want, and fearless is how I see these three. I really do like the Starman version of this because it does bring on a different aspect of how you can look at the Chariot. It's almost like, okay, so if you are walking the Fool's Journey through your life, you might walk. I mean, we obviously walk the Chariot more than once in our life. So this is like a version of the Chariot that has been the Chariot a couple times, you know. I think that's very interesting as well. And also, if you look at the backgrounds on this, this is like this Chariot, the 8U8 version, is coming from a castle. Sun's out, everything seems perfectly fine, and there's no turmoil. It's like this Chariot is leaving the castle and going on his journey without any turmoil behind him. This one, you could say, is leaving for their journey with years behind them and past Chariot rides before, and almost a little bit looking ahead, watching out, taking in the environment around them. Whereas this one, yes, they could be doing that, but they just look like they're moving forward, straight forward, face forward, heading in their direction and not looking around. Now this Chariot, I mean, it is the Star Tarot, but it gives me the impression that it's kind of a little more ethereal feeling, and it feels like this Chariot is leaving at night. It has a mystical feeling, to it. And guided by stars, guided by the realms, guided by the unseen. I'm getting that image more than, or guided by the past, guided by everything around, everything around them, everything from their past relatives, their past ancestors, guided by history. I get this one to feel more like a historical, guided by their relatives past. It's like it's everything alchemical, and it's just like in your face. Guided by the earth, guided by the stars, guided by the heavens, that's the way that I see that one. And not afraid to be guided by that as well. Kind of out there with every symbol, every alchemical zodiac symbol. There's just a lot of symbolism in that one. Yeah, so I mean, there's three different aspects here that you can look at, and I really I really like all three of them. I was just looking at my notes here to see if there was anything else I wanted to say. You know, I mean, if you lose control of your chariot, that's what we want to avoid for 2023, is like a reverse chariot, losing control of the chariot. Because we don't want the consequences that we could just fatigue, burnout, lack of direction, imbalance. These are the things we want to avoid, so we definitely want to try to control it. These are not in reverse, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. And yeah, so this is kind of an impromptu chariot discussion, but I thought that I would bring these three in here, and I really do like all three of these, so I'll give you a last closer look here. And I really am impressed by this card a lot. I'm going to maybe go through more of my chariots. And the Egyptian symbology, which I should know more of, but I don't. Yeah, and I kind of like the background of this one too. It's like an old desert vibe, kinda. Whereas these don't have that. This is more like king, queen, castle. And this is like perfect for the Starman. But I'm kind of getting this one's like got almost a desert feel in the background. I don't know if those are mountains or what, but I like all three of these cards. So if you want to add any comments or send me a message, go ahead. I hope you enjoyed this impromptu chariot card discussion. 2023 is the year of the chariot, and we will see you back again for Vagabond, Gypsy, Tarot, and Oracle. Please go ahead and like and share this post.